You've got nice kitchen there.
It is nice, isn't it?
Do you cook?
Yeah, I do actually. Not as good as my wife, but yeah, I cook.
You cook?
I try to anyway. My dad's a Spanish chef, so yeah.
Oh, you have it in your blood then. Oh.
All right, we're ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. And we're live. Beaming directly live to you from Sydney, Australia and Malaysia. Once again, we've got the pleasure of connecting and exploring some wonderful topics today with part 2 in our series with Mr. Youri Zaritski on OBE, astral projection, lucid dreaming, and all related topics. Youri, welcome to the show again, brother.
Hi guys, hi Mike. Mikael, is good to see you. I'm a little bit tired. You gotta bear with me today. I had a long life, long life, but long night yesterday with my boxing coach. So we had a few beers. So I'm a little bit delayed, jet lagged.
You've got a little bit of a delayed response today.
Oh yeah. And my boxing coach is into dreaming too, so we had quite a wonderful conversation yesterday.
Oh, very good. I can imagine. Anyone who bumps into you, Youri, ends up like dreaming or OBEing, I can imagine.
He was a dreamer already before he meets me. He calls it how he called it when he met me. He said it's an omen. It's an omen.
Yeah.
But then it is an omen for me too, because I'm into boxing now for a few years, and just love it. So we had a wonderful night. So please bear with me. I'm a little bit tired, but I like it. It's a nice relaxation. I feel good.
Yeah, you look good considering you've been through like your boxing class and a few beers last night. You actually look very lucid, if I can say so myself.
Oh, but thank you. Hopefully.
So today, Youri, we're going to explore the other side of OBEs and astral projection and lucid dreaming.
Yeah, I was looking how to call this part. Maybe we call it the other side of it. Yeah, it's a good way to call it. Have you got some questions for today, or no pressure? Yeah.
I'm sure that they'll pop on up there in the comment section while we're talking. So when you mean the other side, are you talking like what, like the negative side of it or something?
No, absolutely not. It's more to go take it from an achieved dreamer, or a guy who dreams and sleep every night just like everyone does. If you just come and say what is dreaming practice, OBE, astral projection, all of that, you start to explain to them what is that. So on a simple level, if you talk to somebody who has no idea what that is, what do you do with that? Okay, so you are dreaming. So that is something to explain. Okay, you are dreaming, and you know that you are dreaming. And I like to say, okay, once you know it, well, grab it with your hand and don't lose it. Don't think that your awareness is granted. Okay, so that is for somebody who has no idea what is it about. And then I say, okay, once you grab it, then you have no limit. You can do anything you want. And the first thing that everyone will do is, everyone. Say everyone. That's what I did, at the beginning. Go through walls, fly around, catch some girls, dive into the ocean, fly to space. Okay, sounds good, It's already sounds interesting. But then there are other things, After a while, it's good to explore other things than just fly around, banging everything that moves around and wake up. It's an earthy thing. Even flying to space, at the end of this, depends how you fly, where you go, how you did it, what kind of thing you have done, but it's more on internally, how did you live the experience, maybe. So the other side is what else can you do? What else can you achieve with it? What kind of experience other than the earthy experiences can you do? And this is maybe what I would call the other side of it. So I don't know, maybe we can talk about it today, and then maybe some other questions will pop out. I don't know, but I think this is important,
So
what do you do with it,
Perhaps when somebody first starts having these experiences, like they have their first lucid dream, and they're just like thinking, wow, this is incredible, and they're totally consumed by just the novelty of the experience. And let's say after a while they explore all of the initial curiosities, let's say, that may arise during these experiences. And then, so what you're saying is it reaches a point where perhaps it becomes like a personal growth kind of thing, like it becomes like more of a spiritual expansion, where people go into more deeper intent on exploring this experience and perhaps bringing knowledge into this world and helping them with their lives in this world?
It's fine to call it spiritual growth. It's fine to call it as well self-development, and anything synonymous to that. It is all of this. And the other side maybe is transcending all of that. We can also transcend even this, even
wow.
go beyond even that.
Yep.
It's nice. It's good, and we should. It is being used that way too, therapeutically, psychologically. It has a lot of applications. Yes, and then maybe we can go even beyond that. Why not? And what does it mean to go beyond that? So it's the good word for it is transcending whatever I want to transcend. This is kind of experience, I think, which are unique, very unique, and anyone who has transcended anything, any point of time, they will definitely remember these things.
Yeah, for sure. I'd like to spend some time exploring this issue of going beyond, of transcending. I'm really interested in touching that with you. Ray's just joined us. Ray, if you've got any questions during the broadcast, feel free to just type them up there. We'll put them up on the screen, and Mr. Youri will do his best to answer your questions.
Ray Fiala, I see him very often in many groups. I don't remember if we have spoke to each other, but he's a very active guy in this field, Hi Ray, nice to meet you here again and again.
Good to see you, Ray.
Yeah, I think he knows me too.
So Youri, when you're saying transcending even personal growth and spirituality, let's explore that a little bit. Can you go into a little bit more detail on what exactly you mean by that?
Okay, remember we talked about stopping internal dialogue?
Yes.
In our first meeting, the 2 weeks back. I think this is a good way to tackle this, because any kind of experience that the person is going through, there is always this mental layer that is on top of it. You see, the experience can be anything, but then the way the person is living that experience with internal dialogue that is not off is ordinary. It is ordinary, even if it is considered as a spiritual experience by that guy or girl. It is still ordinary. It is still something that the guy or girl has read about, saw about, heard about, and expecting about to happen, and that happens. So it's expectation, you know. It's as per expected, as opposite to the guy who has stopped the internal dialogue. Then the perception starts to change, and when then it's different. Everything is different. We gotta spend a little bit of time on it to explain it, because it's not an easy thing to understand for somebody who has never stopped internal dialogue or stopped it by accident. It's not an easy thing to grasp, you see. It can be, yeah, go on.
I'm sensing that this is a really important topic now that a lot of people are going to want to have explained and unraveled a little bit for them. I certainly sense that in myself, where you're going now. I'm very, very intrigued for you to open this up for me, and I'm sure that the audience is really, there comes a time where you're looking at this topic. And it's kind of like the same subjects being rehashed over and over again. I think what you've just touched on now is something that can help a lot of people, take things to the next level. And I just want to spend a bit of time like exploring this. So do you mean when we're in this environment that the fact that we're labeling it is limiting us?
You see, you are using this word labeling. You're exactly there. Go on.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm sensing. So I'm kind of sensing that what you're saying is to go to the next level and truly experience some of these realms and environments that we may find ourselves in. We have to try to stay open and clear and kind of like virgin, not corrupt, by bringing our own labels and our own categorizing of that world, or else we'll project that out and kind of block what could be there. Is that kind of like what you're alluding to?
Not exactly. Labeling will be labeling, interpretation, having a pair of glasses, having a filter on top of what is already going on, is the byproduct of internal dialogue.
Okay, yes, I understand.
But the main point is the internal dialogue is fixing your point of perception in one place. It's fixing it. This is what is putting you in a certain way of perceiving reality.
Yes.
When you stop internal dialogue, it becomes flexible. So you can start to move around. Your perception starts to move around.
Wow. Okay.
And you start to perceive things in a different way. So the labeling is just a byproduct of it. But the main point there is when the internal dialogue is on, it's fixing you in one place and to see things in one way. That's what it does. It's a fixation point. You see?
So it's almost like cultural conditioning in a sense. You're trying to overcome your own conditioning so you can experience something more purely.
Conditioning is a good way. Conditioning is another way to put it, probably. Some exercises, for example, there are many ways to achieve the stoppage of internal dialogue, and coming out of the conditioning by doing something different or doing something unexpected, not habitual, is part of the techniques to achieve it.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Doing something weird, you know.
Yes,
and that is just to trick it out, you know. You just trick it out.
I actually had a little experience with that this last week. I found that when I woke up at 4 a.m., instead of lying back in bed the usual way, I lie back in bed the opposite way. So where my feet usually are, I put the pillow on that end and I lied the opposite way. And that seemed to like really help a lot. So I can understand exactly what you mean by that. Doing little things that kind of break patterns.
Break the pattern, yeah. But it breaks the pattern, and then once you break the pattern, then you might achieve the stoppage of internal dialogue. How do you know that you have done it? Because that's the question after this, you know, is okay, you are doing it right, you are doing it wrong. Just 1 second, my kids are going off. See you guys. So you're gonna have a drive? Okay, see you. Have a good drive. See you. Okay, my lovely wife just left with my 2 monkeys, Ethan and Victor. I have 2 sons, Ethan and Victor.
See you guys. Have a good drive.
Michael is saying hi to you guys. I hi to Michael back from my wife. Teresa told you hi. So I have two little my Teresa, my wife Teresa, and I have 2 boys, Victor and Ethan, and they have another 2 middle name. One is Victor Zakiel Pantera, and Ethan Marley Pantera. Marley because I like Bob Marley, obviously. Zakiel because it just dropped into my head while he was still in the stomach. Then I learned that he was one of the prophets or one of the archangels. Okay, it just felt into my head, and I never read anything about Zakiel. So okay, give it to him. Yeah. And Pantera because if you go to my website, there is one really interesting experience I had with a guy called Pantera. I never heard about this guy, and then I woke up, make a research. Looks like he was one of the potential fathers of Jesus. I was like, oh my God. And I had quite an experience. And I had a lot of experience with Pantera, the animal too. So I don't know if it's shamanic or what, but I decided to give them Pantera name. Okay, coming back to I was talking about the stopping internal dialogue and how do you know? So listen to that one carefully. How do you know that you have achieved the stopping internal dialogue? One of the good ways to know it is when you don't give a shit. Because there is no more blah 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 going on. So you don't feel like saying any blah 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 because you don't give a shit. You're no more bound to anything. So that's why not giving a shit is a good sign.
Yes.
So me, very often I burst into laughter, you know. I start laughing, everything become funny. even the serious situation seems it seems like a joke. So that's so not giving a shit. If you still try to explain what's going on, if you're still trying to explain yourself, you probably have not achieved it yet fully.
Yes.
When you don't need to explain anymore, there you go. then that's it. and then all the senses become it becomes very flexible. It's very flexible, and then probably intent is a good way to direct you with whatever you want to do.
So can you expand on what you mean by it becomes very flexible? once internal dialogue is silenced and you're not fixed on that same spot, you become free of that. What do you mean by it becomes more flexible at that point?
But you are not bound to anything.
Yes.
Imagine a guy who is sitting in the office and what the guy said to me, this fucker told me that, I'm gonna smash his face, who is he to tell me all of this, and all of a sudden you don't give a shit, and then you start to see the whole fucking office around you, and you start to see everything, and nothing attracts your attention in particularly, but you see everything at the same time. But you capture also everything, you was, as a few moments ago, you was so focused on something, and it was so serious, and then all of a sudden you get the whole picture, and as if you were blind. It's like going from blind to not blind, and it's I say flexible because you don't get stuck on one detail anymore.
Yes.
You're not seeing just the beautiful lady on the picture. You see the museum.
Yep.
You see what I mean? It's not just one detail. It's the museum, and the people who chit-chat in the museum and whatever. It's everything. So it's expanding. You get this expansion around you. You get more awareness shit, and you don't give a shit too, and you feel free. You feel free from that mental noise that you had a few moments ago. So, oh my God, feels good to come out from it.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think that's why some guys will call it ego death.
Yes.
Because then your blah 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 has stopped. So it's not an ego death. You are still Michael. I'm still Youri. And that time you still know who you are, but you are no more. You stop that torture of yourself. That torture is over.
Yeah.
And you see what I mean?
Yes. Do you think that there are stages? Yes, I have. The last year or so, since August last year, what you're saying, what you're explaining now, I've been experiencing in my what we could call ordinary life. In my ordinary life, I've changed so much since in these last 9-10 months, and that's one of the things that I've noticed has changed the most. As you were just talking, then I was thinking, wow, this is really good. The timing for me is so important. Well,
can you tell me what happened?
Yes. I went through, like, the last few years I've been going through what I could explain like a spiritual awakening, but in the last 10 months it's been very, very intense. I've always been like a businessy kind of guy. I've always worn suits and ties. I've always been in all of that world. I've had a lot of attachments to who I believed I was, like where I lived, my car, my clothes, my title, all of that stuff. And since August last year, I've been shedding all of that, and sometimes it's been quite violent, and quite scary.
What do you mean by that? What have you done?
Well, it's just been a scary process for me to let go of all of that, let go of my past life, and let go of who I thought I was. And a lot of that has been a lot of my own internal dialogue, if we could say, has been getting quieter and quieter and quieter. And I've noticed that the drama level in my life has, it's just going down and down and down and down and down and down. Things that used to cause me to think a lot and get lost in that thought space, it's kind of like not happening anymore to the extent that it used to. So I'm a lot quieter as a person now. And when you said, not giving a shit is a sign, straight away I thought, oh my God, this guy's talking about me. Because one of the things that I tell myself is, you know, zero fucks given. You know, a lot of days I feel free. You know, I feel very, very open to the world. I feel free of the bullshit concerns that I used to occupy my mind with all the time. And you know, what you're saying now, I'm just listening, going, wow. You know, I'm relating very, very much to it. Put it that way.
Awesome. Maybe it's not a coincidence we met, Michael.
I don't think it is, bro. I really don't think it is. At the time that we met, and how this interaction between you and I came up, you know, and with this topic, I think as well, a lot of people, they're afraid of things like people who might say shit or whatever, and, you know, somehow they label that, and, oh, these guys aren't spiritual or whatever. And as soon as I connected with you, it was just like a breath of fresh air. I'm like, this dude is an anarchist type of guy. He's, you know, he's his own person.
Hey,
I love
too,
that.
Huh? Hey, you too, huh? You have that too, huh? After you shed your ties and all, hey, the way you express yourself, you too, you like to be a bit of anarchist there.
Yes.
To shed out all of this, to destroy, and you call it violent. Yeah, but we gotta smash it sometime. Like French say, you cannot make an omelette without breaking the eggs. We have to break sometime. Man, you want to hear? Do you want to say something else? I wanted to talk about my shedding out like that. I did it too. You want to say something else there about what happened? You're not obliged to. If it's too personal, keep it.
No, it's all right. Look, it's just my relationship with my wife and my kids has always been fairly strong, but it's really gone to another level now as I've kind of been humbled. Whether it's because that was part of my journey or whether I made the decision to do it, I'm not sure. I don't think it was my decision. I think I was humbled by life. And part of me being humbled and continuing to be humbled by shedding all of the things that were so egotistical about me, that blinded me, you know, to what was out there. That's why I really relate when you say getting fixed on perception. Like, I know what you're meaning by that, because I was stuck in that badly, and I didn't think I was, but because I've been shedding all that.
You can't know, man. When it gets stuck, the vision is just too narrow to even know that you have a narrowed vision. You know, and this is what I see in. Not that I care so much about what other guys do, etc. But that's what I see. You know, it's so narrowed, so stuck on one thing, so polarized. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. So it's like, you know, the worst case scenario is some guys will not like what I say, but it's stupidity, you know. And the problem of stupidity is that when stupidity is self-sufficient to endorse the stupidity by stupidity. So when the stupidity has grown in a guy, and he doesn't, like you say, get humbled down. So that stupidity is self-sufficient and dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing on earth right now, stupidity. And to come out of it, we need to humble down and say, okay, now I'm gonna stop doing what I do and take a moment for myself and try to look around what's going on for real, you know. Some guy said it. Yeah, we might be narrowed down. Okay, shit. Why he said that? Let's sit down and really think about it, and then the guy might discover. But you know, the guy who go on with his life, wake up, do whatever he does, eat, shit, sleep, and until he dies, he will never see it. You know, many guys don't. They just spend the whole life, you know, thinking it's okay, but it's not. It's not just do all these things, man. It's quite crazy. It's quite crazy. On my side, you know, it was how long now? I think it's about what we have in 2018. I think it was about 5 years ago. So I had this Pantera dream, and then without deep diving into this Pantera dream, but months later, I give the resignation letter from my company. I was cost controller in an oil and gas company for 15 years, ties and all that. But I was putting ties only for the annual dinners, or if I have a meeting with bosses. I would put a shirt with a pant. Otherwise, there would be jeans and t-shirts. Even though I was managing billion contracts, billion size US dollars, big contracts, all that. But I was so rebellious, man, so rebellious. So anyway, I give resignation letter. The guys were like, work a little bit more, make some money. And I'm like, it's been 15 years, I make more money. That's enough. So I give resignation. I destroyed more than half of, I think 70% of my belongings. I just get rid of it. And then the rest of it was so big, so much accumulation over the years. Traveled to another region here in Malaysia, to the parents of my wife. And then now I got only part of it. And now I stop accumulating. I made my life so... I don't get anything without asking my question, is it going to clutter my life, you know? Is it gonna create more problems for me, you know? It has to be useful, otherwise I don't get it, you know? Even if it's deco, I'm careful what kind of deco I put, you know? A bit like your house behind, you see, it's not cluttered, it's simple, you know? It's all clean and you know, it's not all things all over the place, man. I like it.
We're walking very parallel paths, Youri. You know, like what you're sharing now. Like, bro, I've been through exactly the same thing. Like, it's amazing how together our paths are. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people that will listen to this that will also go, wow, you know, they're going through it as well.
I'm not saying like there is this book, the monk that sold his Ferrari. There is also this thing, you know, getting pushed to get rid of what you have, get rid of your life, and whatever. You know, no, it's not that. It's not about destroying everything that you have and getting crazy and go to some region and forget about the fact that you need to make some money to sustain your life. It's not what I'm talking about. But removing the clutter is a good thing. It's you know, it's like it was one guy, I forgot, it was some lama who living in Spain or Italy, I forgot where, and he was saying, hey, I don't want to buy a car because if I buy a car, I need to bring it to mechanic, and I don't want to go to mechanic. It's like, oh, so this is the way of thinking. Wow, okay, I don't want mechanic. I need to think about the car. I don't want to think about the car, you know. But it's okay. Me, I have a car. That's fine. But I have to think about the car now. So you know, so whatever we get, you need to take care of it, and it's taking a lot of attention. You know, so I'm very careful. I'm very careful what kind of conversation I engage to. I'm very careful. I call it, you know, don't start the fire if you don't like the smoke. You know, don't start a conversation if you don't want to do it. You know, some guys like to argue just to argue. I don't. Why would I lose my personal power and personal energy just to argue, just for the sake of it? How stupid that is. Yeah. What for? Just to argue and to be right or wrong? Well, it's a disaster, man. For the energy level and energy accumulation and the personal power, it's a disaster, man, to do this kind of thing. Stopping internal dialogue.
Yes, yeah. It's such a profound topic, isn't it?
Do we have some guys now? I see some. Do we have any messages or something so far? I see nine reaction. What does it mean? Rudy is here. Rudy is my student from Indonesia. Great guy. Rudiana Supriyadi. He's also in oil and gas business. He has his own company. He's a really great guy. He's into hypnosis as well. He makes a lot of research. He's a very nice guy. He came to learn lucid dreaming out of body with me here in Malaysia. So he took a trip. But he works here also sometimes with oil and gas companies. So we have a long relationship with him now, up until today. He really enjoyed the workshop here. He was successful very quickly. Smart guy. So it's very easy to have success if the person listen carefully, and Rudy is one of them. Is a good example. If only I could get everyone to be like Rudy, I would have 100% success in the workshops, man.
There you go, Rudy. Big time for you, brother.
Yeah, I have this problem, you see, because again, you see, we're gonna fall into the stopping internal dialogue again. You see, the guys who do not have success, who come, and I have a few guys like this. It's like extreme. It's so difficult to teach something to somebody. Like the guys like we hear, you know, when the cup is full, what can you do? What can you put inside? You know. So it's exactly like this. The internal dialogue is blah 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 blah. And so I'm like, what do you want me to say there? You sure you are listening? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do anything for this kind of guys. And so it's like this. No, I didn't say so. It's like this. Can you just listen to what I say and just take it without say so it is like that? You know, and it's so this is the worst case scenario with an apprentice when I teach them is when the interpretation is a disease, you know, or everything that the guy has learned you have to interpret and put it into something that the guy knows so that he can learn. No, it's not how you learn new things. Absolutely not. You have to empty some spaces and put something new into it, so you learn something new, you know, not something like before. Oh man.
Yeah, I think the problem there is that a lot of people want it given to them on a plate with some silver cutlery, some fine wine, the table all set for them. You know, the servants come out and serve them. And I can see that your method of teaching is not like that they have to actually do the work themselves to learn it, or else they're not going to learn anything.
No. It's not giving on the silver plate. It's listen to the information. But really listen, that's all that it requires. Listen to the information, not trying to hear something and then spit out something else in the head. That's the problem, is hear the information, hear the steps to follow and do them. You know, and then I have the guys, I won't say who, but the guy coming and says, so I'm doing this and I'm doing that. So and I'm like, you know, have you done what I ask you? You know, so I'm telling, did you do what I asked you to do? And I come back to you in a week time. And in a week time is the same conversation again, you know?
Yeah.
Still didn't do what I asked. You still, you know, so how did you learn, man? It's like you learn one book, but you talk about book number in another book, you know. And this is what happens a lot when you have conversation with someone. You say something, but the guy is hearing something else. So what can we do?
Human beings.
It's very disappointing. It's like French call it. The dialogue of death. The dialogue of death. You know, Did you say that? Did I heard that? Did I heard myself? What happened?
We've got something from Ray here.
Yeah.
We've got a question from Ray here. Okay, so he's saying, do you think science will ever validate the out-of-body experience or the afterlife? Whoa, Ray, straight into a big question.
Ray, honestly, if you have been watching from the beginning this stuff, you know, I'm gonna give you an anarchist answer. I don't give a shit. I mean, look, it's been how many years? You practice that, I practice that, Michael practice that. Do you really give a shit if science approves it? You know? I don't care if they approve me having a shit. I just do it. So what? They proved it, and what happens now? So we're gonna pay more attention. Actually, look, the lucid dreaming there, it's already has been proven. Out of body, you know, maybe let's talk to Pop. I don't know. Maybe Pop will be the scientist to approve it. I don't know, man. No, honestly, I don't know. What I say is, you know, this subjectivity and objectivity. So you wanted what your question underlines is you want it objective. So okay, afterlife exists, out of body exists, beyond the personal experience. Okay, but subjective experience is for me is good. I don't see a problem with being subjective with anything that we do. So I don't torture myself by saying, oh, is my experience valid or not? My experience is valid for me, and that's all. I don't have to make it valid for anybody else. Look, what difference does it make for you? And you as a dreamer, you know it very well. What difference does it make to you? You have a very good experiences in the dream state. Okay, on the other side, you have a very good experience in the waking life. Good. What's the difference? Tell me. Don't you find it is as profound? Both are as profound. It makes who you are in both ways. So do I need a scientist to say your dreams are true, your out of body is true? It's valid. What do you remember from yesterday? It's a memory. What do you remember from your dreams? It's a memory. What's the difference? You're gonna say one memory is better than another? For which reason exactly? Doesn't it make who you are already? I always say is be honest about subjective experiences, and this is what is very interesting for any guy. Be with yourself. Do what you feel like doing, and you're gonna have great experiences there. Instead of looking for validation from scientists, from neighbor, from your ex-wife that you never catch again, who cares? So that's why I say I don't give a shit. I do it for myself. I don't do it for anybody else, and I don't wait for these guys to validate. Will they do? Good. They don't? Good too. I'm sorry, I don't have better. But
there's
that's
a very powerful message there, right? Very powerful message there from Youri.
I don't know, Michael.
Yeah, dude. That's
for you, it's good, Michael.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was a lot of wisdom in that.
Ray, what do you think? If you feel like commenting, go on, bro.
Let's see if Ray's still with us. Yeah, so I think Youri, you know, with this subjective objective thing that you've just brought up, a lot of people fall into that trap. I think it's a process. It takes time to get the subjective thing, to get our heads around it, because a lot of people still have this automatic response, like a pattern that they unconsciously just keep falling back into, that this is some kind of objective world, and that the dream world or the OBE world or whatever other realms, that somehow, you know, they're not real, but this is. And it's just a pattern that a lot of people that we default, you know, we fall into because we forget.
Okay, so you talk about what is real and what is not real. Is it what you mean?
Yeah, that a lot of people think that this world is real and that the dream world is not as real as this, when it is. I mean, the whole thing is subjective, but we fall into the trap of this objectivity thing, which I believe is a lie. It's bullshit. What objectivity? The only thing everyone has is their own subjective reality, but it's difficult to get that on board.
And look, you look at a red color, you and the guy next to you. You have no idea what kind of color the guy is seeing. Do you realize that? We both agree it's red, okay, but what kind of red? How are you gonna explain what kind of red you are seeing? You can write a poem about it. You know, what kind of red have you seen? What kind of green you see? What kind of sound you are hearing? What kind of smell you are getting? You can't. So what? Which one is more valid, mine or yours? Which one is more true? So what I mean by that is everyone is having a very, very subjective experience, and it's fine. And it's fine. And it's maybe but what I mean, okay, the main point there, you see, is if I find there is more advantage in working on focusing on my own subjective experiences. It brings more results, and it's more productive rather than focusing on prove it to the world.
Yes. Yep.
It's much more productive. It's much more fulfilling. It's much more interesting. It's much more eventful. So the moment you start to trust yourself into go and hugging trees, you might experience something nice in hugging trees. Or you trust yourself going in the middle of the night with the moonlight and lie down in the sea, and you might have some nice experience. But instead of doing blah 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 and having a conversation and proving to the world that this is real, but you actually have a nice experience on your own that you could be sharing with somebody. Oh, I have done that, I have achieved that. And that's the beauty of it. Hearing stories from other guys is just a story. You doing something that belongs to you.
Having the direct experience of our own subjective world, really, I mean, that is what more real can anything possibly be than that?
What else can you do? What else can you do? Otherwise, you'll be just reading books or hearing stories, right? So, okay.
Yeah,
it's nice to hear a story, but it's nice to do it too. Huh? Much nicer, I find.
Absolutely. The direct experience is, you know, that's sacred. Our own direct experience of each one of us that's the sacred ground, you know. That's when you experience it, it's your truth.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing what we can do. Once we start to trust it, it's amazing what we can do. And the once this blah 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 stops and we start to be careful with ourselves and be intimate with our own intimacy, you know, get into it, you know. So this is where it becomes interesting. It's really not a story to say that we are all powerful beings. It's not just a story. It's really how it is. But because of this blah blah blah, it's all, we are blind to it. But we have it all. So it's not that we have to do it and we discover it and we have to work on it hard, and it's not the hard thing. Everything is easy, but because of the blah 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 and this mental thing going on, we just don't pay attention. But all things are already there. So we're just being fixed in one place with internal dialogue, interpretation, and we're just being blinded. But then we think, oh, we have to do something extraordinary to achieve out of body. No, we don't have to. It's happening every night, but we are all drunken, with all of us with drunken consciousness, self-sufficient stupidity. So and everyone agreed that going to sleep is just a dream. So everyone does it. Oh, it's just a dream. Oh, it was just a dream. yeah, okay, die with it, man. It was just a dream. Tomorrow I go to the office. I have no time to do that. Sounds good. So serious. Yeah, okay. I heard that before. Yeah, well, it's just a dream. it's not. Yes. Dreams are not important. There is more important things to do. Yeah, that's okay. I also do what you do. I can also make as much money as you do. And I have my opinion about the dreams. Oh man.
Oh, dude.
But that's how it is, man. That's how it is, man. The guys are so serious about it, man. Nothing to be serious about, man. Cut the shit short and start to pay attention to yourself. You might discover that you are a magician, man.
Yes. The way in which we limit ourselves, huh? Wow.
You start to wake up in the middle of the night and call yourself Merlin, you know?
Yeah.
The garden starts to call you in the middle of the night. You feel like going hug the moon in the middle of the night. Oh, I have done that, you know?
Oh my God. And then the next morning you go to work and tell everyone, and that's it. Oh my
After
God,
20
nobody's
years,
talking to me.
After 20 years of consistent office job, I have discovered sudden love for the moonlight. I have got connected to my deeper self. My higher self started talking to me. I heard a voice. It was a deep experience. Oh man, we get so serious about it.
You know, it's funny. I think I just learnt more about OBEs, astral projection, and lucid dreaming in the last 60 seconds than what I ever have, like reading in a book or anything.
And it's just being conscious. Yeah, it takes effort, but it's fun. It's fun, man. It's fun. We stop being so serious about everything. It's just fun. It's not a serious thing there. It's much more fun. Is the drunken consciousness that is so serious and so boring, man, and sickening. That is sickening. The good awareness is so light. It's not heavy. It's a light thing. It's very light. There is no. It's not a difficult thing. It's a pleasurable thing. It's not. It doesn't have to be difficult at all. You see. I don't see it difficult, man. It's difficult because we say so, but it's not.
If only half of the world could understand what you're saying right now, everything would be right on track, man. We'd be living on Mars within 3 years.
No, we wouldn't give a shit about Mars, bro. We wouldn't give a shit. We would be, or maybe you're right. Maybe we would be on Mars, maybe, because we will cut the shit short, and
Yes.
and we maybe we will discover better. But because of the byproduct of it is stupidity, so we get stupid. So we don't advance so fast. I think we could be going much more faster if we were not so stupid.
And all this stuff really is at the foundation of what's holding us back. Like, sometimes we're like a broken record with, lucid dreaming and OBE and stuff. It's just the same thing going, and it's just stuck in there where, you keep going back to the internal dialogue as like the fundamental thing, not just with OBEs and astral travel and lucid dreaming, because it's all linked, isn't it? I mean, our waking reality and the astral, it's all linked. It's all the same thing.
It could be taught in school, I think. It could be actually taught in school, and to teach the kids to pay attention to it, and to listen to them talking to themselves, and who is talking, and why are you talking in the first place, and what is it to do not be talking, and take it strongly, and use it as be very aware of the fact that our perception moves around, and not just in one place, and why are we getting stuck in a certain place, and how and why. So if it could be taught in school, actually, that would be a big change. Imagine everyone is aware of it, and then everyone will be like, oh, so you are stuck in the stock market, bro. That's fine. Did you decide to be stuck there for a year, or just for an hour? I'll be there for a beer when you are ready.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, man, it's really like that,
We got a message here. Finally, my tribe. Hey, brother.
Oh. Yeah. It's good to have a laugh, huh?
Oh, bro. Of course.
Therapeutic, huh?
Oh my God, yeah.
So yeah, is coming back to lucid dreaming, out of body, astral projection, and erection, stopping internal dialogue is good.
Yes.
For all four of them, and the last one too, yeah.
Yes.
And anyone who wants to disagree with that, try to talk a lot while you are having an erection and see the result. Try to picture your stock market while you're having an erection. See if you're gonna have your astral projection done that way.
Profound truth.
Oh. Okay, serious is in every joke a little bit of truth there, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And remember in the last time when we met, I said that stopping internal dialogue is the ultimate technique, if you want to call it technique, to prolong the experience inside the out of body and lucid dreaming, etc. Because my beautiful wife just passed by. Because the intent is the driving force, right? So the problem of the internal dialogue that is on is the expression of is one of the way to express the intent. So when the guy is having the internal dialogue on, the intent is everywhere, and waking up is one of them. You see. So and waking up, it can be as it can be very silent thought of it, you know, or even being scared to wake up. Well, you're gonna wake up. It's not gonna be interpreted, oh, you are scared to wake up, or you don't want to wake up. Did you just say wake up? Okay, wake up. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I say, I don't want to wake up. Did you say wake up? Wake up. You know? You see what I mean? You see, so it's like that. So when the guy is doing whatever, so even the guy is doing techniques like Michael Raduga techniques for or anchoring within the dream by going with all the senses. But if the guy starts to overthinking and going into touching things, looking at things closely, glancing at details in the dream state, looking for the details to anchor yourself in the dream. But if in the background, oh, I don't want to wake up, I don't want to wake up, wake up, that's what happens. But when there is no internal dialogue going on, man, then you can stay there as long as you want. There is no driving force to pull you out anywhere. You're not moving anywhere at all. Nothing pulls you left or right, up or down, wake up or not wake up, and nothing is pulling you anywhere, because there is no, your intent is not moving anywhere. So you can stay there as long as you want. So that's why I say the stopping internal dialogue is the ultimate technique to prolong the experience of out of body, lucid dreaming, astral erection.
And this seems to be true spread across, like what you're saying now, like whether it's meditation, whether it's like, you know, an OBE experience, whether it's a lucid dreaming, whether it's even just driving down to the local shop in this reality. It's all what you're saying here about internal dialogue applies across the board. That's what I love about it so much. It works in everything.
True. It has a big advantage even when you are awakened, for sure. We already talked about it, you know, the office, or just to see the beautiful lady, or to see the whole world around it, and the beautiful lady included in it. Yes. It's a larger vision of everything. Details are good, but there is more than just a detail, I think. I like the details too. And what I mean by the details is the sensitivity to things. For example, the techniques of anchoring with the dream state. One very good way of doing them is not just like, for example, the technique of anchoring yourself in the dream state by vision. So you are glancing at things. What you do is you are looking at things about 30 cm from your eyes, not too far, not too close. Too close is blurred. Too far away, you will not see the tiny details. So what you need is you need to see the details. So that is how to anchor with the vision sensory input. But when you are glancing like that, the right way of doing it is not just like a robot. Okay, I saw this detail, I saw the wrinkles on my hand, and I moved to another place, I saw that wrinkle, that nail, that detail, or that flower, how is there, the little nerves passage, whatever I say. But it's really appreciating the vision. You see what I mean? It's not just I watched and I saw. I really saw it. I really paid attention of seeing it. and that's quite an absorbing situation there. And same goes with the touch. So if you are touching things to anchor yourself in the dream state, not just touch just because it's the technique, so you touch touch and then touch something else and go on and touch here and touch there. No, is when you touch it, you expect to you want the touch to be there. You want to really touch it, not just touch and go. You really touch it and you want to get that sensation as much as it's possible. Same with the taste, the sounds, whatever anchoring technique the guy is choosing. It's good to go into details in that way, you know, to pay closer attention. And it same goes in the waking state too. So we can train in the waking state too, to pay attention to the details in such a way, not just having a blurry vision on everything and it's okay, I just pass my eyes. But we can really look, you know, really look sharp eyes, like an O, you know, and I'm seeing more and more and more. Crispy vision, you know. Not just look for looking, not just touch for touching, but really pay attention to it. And that's also a good technique for anchoring. And I find by doing so, there is less danger to run into the internal dialogue fucking up the whole thing, because the action when we do an action like artists, you know, when the guy is sometimes I do some paintings or something like that, when you are absorbed into the action, you become the action, so the internal dialogue start to go down. You know, if you spend an hour drawing something and then you looked around you, so you forgot that you never looked around for an hour, then you start looking around, you might feel different when you look at things, you know. So that's taking. Remember we said to unconditioned to do something. How we said it, something not habitual. So
Yes.
when we go to a non-habitual way, then we have a chance to stop the internal dialogue.
Yes.
Anything that is not habitual in the
Absolute gold, Youri. Absolute gold. I love the way that you explain things. Like, you know, there is such wisdom in what you say, and not only what you say, but how you say it. You know, that's what I really like about it. You know, there are things that I've studied that the you know, it's put in a light where it's so serious, where in 30 seconds laughing, you know, uncontrollably, right? And you make such light of it and you insert it in such a way that it's so hilarious, but the wisdom is so profound, it just immediately makes sense. And I love that about, especially today, you know, like I've learned a lot, and I hope the audience is also appreciating the uniqueness of how you're delivering this wisdom. Like, man, I'm loving it, bro.
Really? Thanks, Michael. I enjoy it also to be with you, bro. It's I feel very comfortable with you, and so it's so you put a really good plus on it. So that's why I'm like this. But I'm like this with the closed guys with me. I'm always like that. So that's why probably we have met each other. Like I said, probably it's not a coincidence. We're gonna have a journey, bro.
Yes, I feel that. I can already feel it.
Let's see what happens. You know, it's life is a long way to go. We are not that old. The next time you're gonna see me, I'm probably gonna have the same haircut as you.
No, don't do it. You've got hair. Why would you want to go like me?
Man, the last time you saw me, I had long hair. It was all attached. Now look, I'm doing just too much boxing. I can't handle it anymore. My hair is going over my eyes, and I need to go fast. So the hair here in sweat and all that. Oh man, in Malaysia it's hot.
Yeah.
So and I don't want to manage it anymore. I'm gonna make it short, just like my boxing coach, and it's okay. We'll grow up. It can come back again. I don't do the office shit anymore, so I have no more stress like that.
Beautiful.
So hopefully I recover, or if I don't recover, I don't give a shit anyway. So I have my theory about the hair for men. That's why we have hair here. It's disappearing there, so it can grow better here.
Yes.
Then I get some on the cheeks too. As time grows, I think the hair is just being transferred from the head to other parts of the body as time goes.
That is so true. That is so true. I pulled a hair out of my ear the other day that was like that long.
Yeah, man. Cool. I think it's gravity, man. It's the gravity. It's just there. It's just, but it doesn't apply to women. I don't know, man. Maybe the anti-gravitational device is a woman, man. We should explore that. Look at the hair. It doesn't get pulled by gravity, but it does for men. So maybe the anti-gravity device is a woman, man. I'm gonna have an astral erection right now. Oh man, we are laughing. It's not for everyone. The way we approach it is not for everyone. There are guys who be serious in the astral plane, bro. And I'm like, where's the fucking police?
Yeah.
Who is the judge? I have never seen one. I would like to meet one. That would be nice.
Even just the profoundness, the wisdom of you just being yourself. This is another thing that I love about you. I mean, you're live now on social media, right? You're coming on the program as like an expert on OBEs, on social, on like lucid dreaming and everything, and you know your shit. You know exactly what you're doing, but you choose to just be yourself. You don't care. You're just yourself. You're free. You're liberated. I love that. That's empowering.
Bro, even though I'm teaching it, any teacher knows the community is so small. It's not a big business there, and anyone who is doing it, I don't know, me I'm like, okay, sometimes I wonder why I'm teaching it. Why not just focus on myself and do it for myself? But when I teach, I learn too. And I discovered so many. I'm a bit social. I'm a social guy, so maybe that's why. Maybe
Youri
that's
the
why.
social butterfly.
Social butterfly. Yeah. I'm quite a reserved guy as well. My wife is very very introvert, and I learn a lot of things from her. And I do not think that being introvert is a bad thing too.
Yeah.
By being introvert is nice as well. It's not a good thing to be out there and like a radar, the world radar. No, it's not a good thing too. I like to have a bit of composure as well. So I try to find a balance as well, between the teachings and exploration on my own, not just teach. And that's why I'm
100%. So true.
I gotta probably write my own book on that, put a guide there, put my own way of doing it soon.
Very yin and yang.
That's what I want to do.
Balance.
But yeah, I need some balance. Yeah, it's well, these things is still I don't know. Now on Facebook I saw some groups with 60,000 guys. The world of lucid dreaming. page has 100,000 likes. But okay, Facebook likes we can't really believe. You can pay for it to upload the likes.
Oh
Shit,
yeah,
I
for
have no
sure.
idea, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
60,000 people with 10 or 20 conversations per day. Something is wrong, bro.
Yes.
I saw some communities, lucid dreaming, spiritual community in Indonesia, because thanks to my friend Rudiana, oh man, when I see 100,000 people there, oof, you should see how it's flowing, man. It's all over the place, so I can see what 100,000 people do there. I mean, your message there is you send your message is down 20 conversation below.
Yeah.
This is 100,000 people. So when I see 60,000 people, 30,000 people in lucid dreaming, and there is 20 conversation per day, something is wrong there, bro. So it's a very small community. It is still very, very small. The workshops done by guys, there will be 20, 30, 50 people, big max. The authorities in the world who do that. So what do you want to be serious about it? It's once a year you have 30 dudes coming to see you. So what? I think that's why I think I'm putting up this Lucidity for All, where I don't give a shit. You are a teacher. I will promote you. Go and promote yourself there. Nobody does it. That's why I want this unification and make that thing grow. I'm so tired of this competition thing.
Yeah.
People get competitive, learning that in school, and they put that shit on everything. I'm so tired of it, man. Compete for what? For your astral erection? Oh, it's okay. I have mine. Would be great. It would be great to put it all together, and but so far it's doing quite well. I'm looking at how the group has evolved on Facebook. I find I put some guidance there. So I told the guys, it's not because you are a lucid dreamer that you have to talk roughly to an astral projector, and vice versa. Don't take your truth as the final point. Make sure that you understand that, and don't get into the stupid arguments just to argue what is real and what is not. So I hope something nice comes out of it.
Well, it's growing fast. I mean, you're approaching 4,000 members already. That's massive.
It's 5,280 today.
Wow.
We have it's quite big now. I think it's one of the first ones now in Facebook.
Wow.
Actively, it's active members. I have a few very dedicated guys who work with me, guys and girls, who are really, really good dreamers. Just being a dreamer is not a reductive term, it's a general term.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we have per day maybe 15-20 guys coming to join the group as well, but at least 10-15 guys per day. So in a year is gonna be what, 3,000 in a year then. So I don't know what is gonna be in a few years, but numbers again, like I say, so I look at at other groups. So what is it? It counts in thousands in the world. Then you gotta take some by nationality, because there's different languages, you see. So in English language you get 60,000, but I don't think it's 60,000 there. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's in the 10,000, 15, 20,000 maybe. That's the real number there. The rest it's I don't know what they're doing there.
Maybe if we started a page about hamburgers or hot dogs or something, we'd get 60,000 people like very quick. But
oh yes,
topics like this.
So, but man, I mean, you know what I did as well? So I wanted geolocation. So if you go to Lucidity4ALL website, on the first page there is a geolocation. So I put in place there. Once you go and create your profile, you appear on the map. So from what I know, that's on my site is the only place on Earth where you can have immediate geolocation of all the dreamers around the world. So now it's quite obvious. I have a lot of guys from US. The pattern goal like that. A lot of guys in US, and it's very funny. It's more to the coast area, more to California there.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising, actually. Yeah,
it's on the coast area. Looks like it's getting more lucid for some reason.
Yes.
This is where guys are also. It's a metropole, right? It's all the activities going on there. Then I get a little bit of India, of course, in Asia, because I'm in Asia. I know the Russian community is big. Then all the European country, I know it's going on as well. I get a lot of guys from Africa, surprisingly. But Africa, they will have a little bit of accent with this Baba Boo Boo. I'm making jokes there, it's a little bit more of sorcery. So they are more into sorcery and all that, so they have this kind of thing there. They are more accent on that, and it's part of their culture there. It's really, really strong accent on that there. So I get a lot of guys from Africa as well. But what I mean is, it would be so nice. I mean, I'm not calling guys just go and subscribe to my channel there, but I'm saying, look, you go subscribe on Lucidity4ALL. You put your face there. You don't need to put your exact address. It's no. We don't need the FBI to know it. And anyway, all the information is private and it's encrypted, and it's 10,000 USD protected by SSL. So any leakage, you can actually say you have a leakage and you get 10,000 USD. If anybody hacks it, and it's all encrypted. But don't put the real address, you just put the address so we locate it. It would be nice, that everyone goes there. It's all free, no money asked, and I'm not sending any stupid newsletters on a daily basis. There is no newsletter being sent right now, and I will not authorize anyone to send newsletters just to beg you to buy some sleeping pills. It won't happen. But it would be nice, to draw the map. I have created a place there for teachers as well. So there is a particular group, so you appear as a teacher and you go to the teachers group, you can access it and you can see all the teachers around. And you have the location of all the teachers. So how nice it is. You are in Italy and the teacher is in Italy, his name is like this and this like that. And you can see his links, any young guy in terms of apprenticeship, comes to this lucid dreaming and all of that, and what happens, who you learn from, what is available. There is this guy Bob who does that. He reads books. What is his name? Wait, Bob Peterson. Have you heard of him?
The name does ring a bell, actually, Youri.
Bob Peterson. So that guy he's in US. He's an American guy. He has a very, very nice smile, and he posts a lot of humorous things on Facebook. He's all about humor and all of that. So he is one of the only guys in the world who has a passion for this domain. And what he does is he has a huge collection of books related to it. So he has read all of them, and he did a review of all of them. So that is the only guy. You as a young guy, young apprentice, you want to learn about lucid dreaming, out of body, and all of that. Well, go to Bob then, and you have access to all the guys who have written a book. but there is no place where you can see all the teachers, what they are, so I created that place. It's free. Go promote yourself. I don't give a shit. I don't earn anything there, except would be nice to see it all together instead of dispersed and the guys are looking at each other. Oh, you do this, I do that. You are different. I'm so tired of it, man.
You're touching on truths, man. You're touching on good truths here. 100%.
It's tiring, man. It's so tiring, and then it's even on my own journey. Once I put up myself on the social media, the competition is just vomiting, man. And it's the social media as well. It's nurturing competition. It's nurturing competition. Yes, we give the possibility to the group managers to manage, to police the guys, to do this, to do that, but they also taking it so seriously. This group is mine.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, did you know that Facebook can shut it down tomorrow? Are you gonna die about it? Did you know they're gonna shut it tomorrow? So what? You're gonna be so serious, man? Oh man, have a fart. That will help you. Oh.
Better out than in.
Oh man, it's so serious. It's so serious. While the subject, I mean, the whole thing is so wonderful. It's such a liberating thing, and the guys are getting so serious about it. What the hell? What the hell? Are you sure you're a lucid dreamer to be so serious, man? Must be one dream a year. I'm just imagining, or maybe I don't know, astral erection all the time. Yeah. I'm careful. I'm not. When I make jokes, it doesn't mean that I'm putting any label on astral projection or anything like that. Absolutely not. I'm just joking, guys. I'm not being serious. That's all. I'm just saying that we could all have a good laugh together, and without disrespecting anyone. And don't disrespect the clown as well. The clown has a space too.
100%.
The serious guys has a space, and the clown too. So everyone can have a space. It would be nice to be together, have fun, or
100%.
not. So I don't know. That's why I call it Lucidity for All, because it would be nice to put the guys together, and who knows, in this in this whole circus, maybe something could come out much more interesting. There are many interesting guys around the world who are very nice individuals who are practicing it and developing it. I don't need to name them. The guys who listen know them, and if they see me, well, I know who you are. I know most of the guys, and it would be nice to work together, whoever you are. Put it all together. I don't know why it needs to be so separate.
Well, we're certainly heading in the right direction. That's all we can do.
Hopefully. But if it doesn't happen, I don't give a shit.
Yes, I know you don't. You don't. That's why I listen to you. I listen to you carefully, because it's like anybody who is that free, dude, I'm interested in learning from you.
Oh man, the only thing I care is my kids, my wife, and a beer with my boxing coach. The rest, man, go get serious about it. It's okay. So yeah. No, really
Excellent,
nice to
brother.
meet you, Michael. It's
Well,
really.
Look, I think we've still got another episode to do just in this series. I mean, we've got the final one that we'll be doing sometime. I don't know. I suppose in the next week or two, we'll wrap up this series, and then, like, you know, God only knows what else we're going to do together.
What do you think? What shall we do? Do you have any idea for the part 3? What would be nice to put in it?
Look, to be quite honest, Youri, I'm really loving the way that that this is rolling out. The way just off the bat like this. Today actually was magnificent. I loved what you shared with us because it's so simple and you present it so lightly and so without all of the, you know, confusion that it's deep. It's deep, man. I really like it. So I think you know, we just keep rolling it out. I'll just provide a space for you to just be you, and I think there's a lot to be learnt there by people who are open to listening to, like, real, you know, people who can see past everything, can laugh along with us, can laugh a little bit at themselves as well as us. I think there's a profound knowledge for them to be learned.
Maybe we can put a little bit of technical stuff.
Yeah, you did mention something about maybe the third one being advanced techniques.
Yeah, maybe it's advanced or not, but maybe a little bit more of technical stuff. You know, it would be nice to clear out some misunderstandings. You know, I run into so many misunderstandings that are haunting the young apprentices.
Yes.
For very wrong reasons. It's because of the misunderstanding. The guy will have a lot of difficulties. Take one example. It comes back on the table all the time. Vibrations. So again, you see, astral erection comes back on the table.
Yes.
Vibration. So the vibrational state. Especially if it goes to, especially in the circle of astral projectors and out of body explorers, vibrational state. So it's vibration, energy, vibration, clearing chakras, mudras, padras, madras. Okay, it's guys, you do not need a vibrational state to have an out of body experience. Absolutely not. It's you will not always be aware of it. You can switch from your perception of the body to the perception of your etheric body, your dream body, without passing through the process of electric feeling through the body, some rushing energy from the toes to the head or head to the toes, or your bed vibrating, whatever shit. It can go completely smoothly. On the blink of an eye or in a second, and you are being transferred into the dream body that is on your bed, and you don't know it. You see, so if you are looking for vibrational state while you are still you are already in the dream state, but you don't know it, and you are still waiting for some kind of vibration, well, you are losing the precious time for you to get up. You should be already getting up. So how do you know that you already passed the your consciousness, awareness has already switched to and already took possession of your dream body? How do you know that? You know it with the reality checks or any kind of technique that will tell you in which environment you are. As simple as that. So you don't simply lie down in bed waiting for the miracle to happen. You got to be active and actively testing where you are. If you are not testing, you will never know. You will be just lying down in bed and waiting when the vibrational state comes, and you don't know that you are already there. You have been already transferred. And it's a very wrong idea to think that you pass through the vibrational state all the time. It's not. And anyone who has practiced enough of it knows it's what, 1 out of 50 you get vibrational state. And how many other experiences you have been of course, you know, if you have been transferred to your dream body and you are standing somewhere, so of course you realize, oh, I'm standing on the street naked, so now I have been transferred. But if you are transferred to the dream body that is laying down in bed in the same position as you were just before, you wouldn't know. So what kind of technique, what kind of test that you do there? Usually what you want to do is tests that do not require a movement, or at least a movement that is phantom, that is not a movement where you want to consciously physically activating your body movement. So let's say you want to move your hand, so that is a physical movement, but you do it with intention. You intend to lift up your hand, and then the hand actually start to lift up, but it was not a physical movement. So that is a test. So if you have the feeling, a real feeling of the hand lifting up, while you didn't lift your hand with as usual, you know, you didn't lift up your hand as usual, you lift up your hand with an intent, that's a sign, you know, but it's not a strong sign enough. Okay, then stand up with that hand that is already it's a real feeling of the hand moving. Okay, so once you get it, get up. Trust me, I was in all my experience, I never stood up wrongly. It never happened to me to stand up with my physical body and saying, what the hell am I doing? I did it wrongly. Never happened. So when you have any kind of sign, you know it. You know that you are already in the dream state. You will almost never be wrong. And even if you are wrong, even if you stood up with your physical body, so what? It's better you stand up and lie down again, but make sure you make a few reality tests before you lie down, because you might feel it's real, you know. It's real, as you call it, real. Oh, I stood up with my physical body. Make close your nostrils, try to breathe through to the closed nostrils. Try to fly, or if you don't know how to fly, then try to jump and see how long it takes you to land, you know. Try to put your hand through the wall or through your hand, you know. Do a few. One is usually could be enough, but sometimes is not enough. So do a few reality checks to be sure that you stood up with your physical body. Okay. Any other thing while you are laying down in bed? So and you guys are waiting for this vibrational state. Don't wait for it. Try to float. Maybe you will be floating then. Try to sink into the bed. Maybe you will be sinking into the bed. Try to teleport. Not for 1 hour. You just picture yourself on the beach and see if it happens. But if you teleported, well, bingo. Instead of you waiting for the vibrations that never comes, bingo on the beach, or floating above, you know, or sinking into the bed. Yeah, you gotta be active. So you gotta actively check where you are. So that's it keeps coming back and is always bugging me. I'm almost tired to explain it. It's and the guys are waiting vibrational state, and I need to develop my chakras. I'm probably not aligned. My chakras are not working. Yeah, no, okay, I stop with jokes.
Cool. All right. So in the next episode, we can dedicate the whole episode to all this kind of stuff, all of the technical.
Maybe we can give some techniques would be good. You know, it's at least the guys can practice and maybe clear up some problems. So whoever will watch this video, maybe let's give it 2 weeks. something like that. So guys can watch this video, and then they can come back with prepare their questions, and we can deal with it. So please send. Maybe the guys can send to you and me the messages for the next show, and we compile the questionnaire, and we go through it.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
I have my questionnaire too, if the guys have, okay, send it. I have my questionnaire. I know what the guys are dealing with. It's always the same. Vibration and how to have astral erection, and how not to wake up under 5 seconds.
Yes.
And what's the best technique of out of body? I want to know the best. Of course, you want to know the best. We will tell you the best. But there are many other things, can I wake up my neighbor? Can me and my wife dream together? Can I have the numbers for the next lotto win?
All of the important stuff.
Can I become rich? Can I I don't know, can I get superpowers? I don't know. There's many questions. There's from shallow question to deep question, and no judgment there. It's many questions are recurring. It's always the same thing. But I think it may be good to give some technical stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
So that video, so that podcast can be viewed again, maybe for learning purposes. So that number 3 will be more of learning process. So we will give. I'll really maybe give some really good points for the guys who start, so they can experience on their own.
Yes.
So they can come back to that, and anytime they start to forget, they can come back to that video and listen again, and so they can recenter themselves. Okay, so the practice is like that. It's not, it's the basics. It's like when I learned boxing, and we talk about my coach is really good, and we talk about fundamentals. So it's a fundamental. It's the fundamentals. The dynamics of the experience don't change. This is the only objective part of it. There is a few points we can disagree there, but it's quite constant. The dynamics don't change. So take one example. Stare at something for more than 5 seconds in the dream state and see if you don't wake up. Just do it. I mean, whoever doesn't believe in it, stare and see what happens. Either you wake up or you provoke a dream change. So it's a constant. These dynamics don't change. So we can pinpoint those things, I think, the next time.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think everyone will really look forward to that, and we'll try to compile as many questions as we can. That way we can work through that and give you a guideline to follow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe I'll post in the group as well. So I ask them to, if somebody wants to put their questions, and I think in the group I can also just go through the group as well, and it's just questions, even the group. So maybe I can also go through the group and see what the questions have been done in the past 1 week, and we can go through that as well.
Sounds great, brother. I'm really looking forward to it.
We had a good laugh today. I really enjoyed it.
It was awesome. It was awesome. This was like really, honestly speaking, one of the most knowledgeable LiveCasts that I've been a part of. I learned a lot, not just with the information that you shared, but how you did it, and looking past the obvious, which is where the real good stuff is. So I really, really enjoyed it, Youri. I love.
So I think. So after all said and done, it looks like we have covered the beyond then.
That's right.
The other side of dreaming. For me, it's like that. For you, I respect that. Whoever's listening, however you want to see it, amen. Abracadabra.
Yes. Absolute gold, brother. All right, well, I've got to run, my man.
Okay, let's.
I've got to jump in the car and drive down a few towns and pick someone up from a meeting that they're at. So
all right. Well, I think it's enough. We did almost 2 hours again today, so I think let's close it up. Enough is enough.
Good stuff, man. I really enjoyed it, Youri. Thank you, brother.
Michael, all the best. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll roll it one more time, yeah.
100%. And I should have this in the next week or so up on YouTube as well. Okay.
Michael, thank you very much. Thank you for everything you do.
Been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for sharing all your knowledge with us, bro.
Have a good Sunday in Australia, bro.
Yeah, you too, my man. Enjoy the Malaysian Sunday afternoon.
Catch you, brother. Thanks. See you soon.
And thanks to all the audience for joining us. As always, this is why we do it, for you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, guys. See you on Lucidity for All and the Awakening Point. See you guys. Bye-bye.